Hi everyone, I thought I was going to give a class tonight, very, very rare on the internet. You don't find much connecting autism and Torah and in Judaism. And I thought it was a timely time to give this class because the UN, back in the year 2007, actually instituted a national day on the 2nd of April, which is going to be tomorrow, with regards to autism awareness across the international world with regards to this specific topic. So I volunteered with regards to helping kids that might be on this specific spectrum. So I thought I would tie it in with regards to the Torah and with regards to Judaism, because it's very, very little, seems to be material there is out there on the internet with regards to, and inside the books and everything else. I thought it would be an interesting topic to grapple on within regards to this thing. Now, first of all, I'm going to speak about Aspergers syndrome and not necessarily about autism so much. I mean, the classic autism. I'm talking about Aspergers here, which is now in modern day seen as high functioning autism. In the modern day text, I believe back in the year 2013, some of the governing bodies actually even instituted it as on this specific spectrum. So I'm speaking about Aspergers here. A high functioning one. That's what I had volunteered with those kind of people with, and it's very interesting. A lot of the people. I'm not a doctor or anything, so don't take my word from it. It's all unofficial. Whatever I'm saying, it's just advice from what I have learned, just from experiences. That one thing for sure is that a high functioning autism, such as Asperger's, it's very, very high functioning in many cases. Now, there's a lot of differences. In some kids, a lot of the people in the industry, they say that could be a significant difference in the development of these people if it is discovered at a very younger age as opposed to an older age. So, for example, if you find out, if there's a parent that might feel that the kid is on the spectrum or anything else, then one should get a diagnosis straight away. And it makes a difference, according to many people, if one discovers before the age of 6-7 years old, because then especially they go to special schools, wherever it might be, it can make a massive difference with regards to the therapies they might have and the treatments a specific kid might have within regards to this, because it's a very important thing. Now, remember, a lot of people that might be on the spectrum, a lot of the kids that might be on, as opposed to kids that aren't, they've got a lot of, it's not that they've got some delays, because that might be true within regards to their development, but they've got a lot of strengths also on many aspects. A lot of these people do. And especially if it's discovered at a young age, those talents, which could be very, very rare talents, can actually be advanced in a phenomenal way. For example, many kids might be very advanced when it comes to mathematics, when it comes to arithmetic, all those things. When it comes to reading, one sign that a kid, if they're not developing so well with regards to communication and everything else, but if they can read at a very young age, that could be a telling sign that this specific person, the talent that the person might have within regards to, it could be cause for concern that specific person will need a diagnosis of some sort. So if someone suspects something that they're not necessarily communicating, the kid is not communicating so well, or there's a sort of difference with the other kids, they should check it out with a doctor. Now, what's interesting is, in Judaism, how can this be nurtured? Someone finds out that their kid, for maybe 3 years old, 4 years old, he could be doing things that aren't necessarily a regular kid is going to do. God forbid, they might see them run inside the road or something, or they might not, be playing. Some kids don't speak properly, or they say very, very few words until a very, very young age. That can be a telling sign. However, once someone has got the diagnosis, especially at a young age, 4 or 5 years old, or whatever it might be, why not, at the same time, while they're getting all their therapies and all their treatments they might be getting, or I don't want to specifically say treatments, but therapies they might be getting with regards to help with their communication, whether there's a floor time therapy, speech therapy, or whatever it might be, they can be advancing so much with regards to Judaism and the Torah. One thing that they could do is you could practice already at the age of 4 or 5, especially if one can get the kid to read at a young age, to spend a lot of time reading, they could be learning the different Torah portions within regards to memorizing it off by heart. They could be learning a lot of the Tehillim. They can, on Shabbat, they can be going to Tehillim groups and everything else. One thing is key is that if one finds that a kid at a young age is on specifically the spectrum, whatever it might be, especially if it's even before 4 or 5 years old, and they can get to learn how to read. If one is reading with the children, maybe even 10 books a day, simple books, which they can do, and let them participate in it, it can develop them, the communication between the father and the child, or the mother and the child, with regards to the books. And it's very important to give books with regards to situations. And especially if someone wants to imbue them in a religious lifestyle, a Torah lifestyle, you can get simple Torah Bible books with regards to teach them, to speak to them and coordinate with them about the different stories that took place in a fun way with pictures and everything else. Remember, I'm talking here about Aspergers syndrome and not necessarily the low functioning autism, where obviously a lot more treatment is going to be needed. Remember, a lot of these kids, they have phenomenal memories also, and they love numbers, they love statistics also. So that can be channeled in. People at the age of 8, 9 years old, these kids might become phenomenal when it comes to football statistics or all those kind of things. Might be within regards to weathers or dates that it might have been. Why not channel it within regards to the Torah? They can learn about how many different Mishnayot there is inside the 6 tractates of the Mishnah. They could learn all these things off by heart instead, and they will be able to do that. That's something they can be able to grasp all these things. It's a talent that those kind of kids can have, and it should be utilized on very much so. Other things within regards to this specific topic, within regards to Aspergers, if a parent might find out about it, you've got to spend a lot of time with those children, whatever it might be. It could cause jealousy with the other kids, especially if one has a big family. But then if someone is going to spend a lot of time with the kid that might have the Asperger syndrome, why not include the other kids in the family with regards to the story time or the playtime? It's also, and get them involved also to engage with the kid that might be in the family that has the Asperger syndrome. Get the other kids to play with them the whole time, because playtime is invaluable and is therapeutic for these specific kids. Very much so also. So, interesting story with regards to the Lubavitcher Rebbe once. It was reported down, there's videos online with regards to this, where there was a family that came and they said that they have a child that has got, I think, a low functioning autism over here. Not Asperger's, but a much more severe communication issues. And they asked him what to do. So he said, first of all, one advice is to put a charity box, a tzedakah box inside the room, and give money every single day inside of it. And they saw 2 years later that there was a significant difference in that specific child that had these communication problems within regards to this. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe also advised those parents that when they're not busy speaking to people, they are busy speaking to Hashem at that specific point in time. Some people might also say that, it's a problem that a child might have this specific issue, but many Rabbonim actually have said that the opposite. They're here, and they can bring so much nachat to specific families and contribute so much with regards to that. There's people on the spectrum that become great Rabbonim also. There are. And even the Israeli army, I think in the year 2017, about 6 years ago, they invested like millions and millions of shekels with regards to making a specific department, a computer department for a lot of these people on the spectrum. And they contributed very much to the army even in modern day. So you can see the phenomenal impact, these kids can have later on, and how they can develop, and they could have the best results. And also probably the richest man in the world. For example, from a secular perspective, Elon Musk actually came out I believe in 2021, 2 years ago, that he is on the spectrum, that he actually has Asperger's. And now we see that he is one of the richest, possibly the richest man in the world. There's many places online that say that Lionel Messi, he was under 10 years old, he was reported to have had the diagnosis of it. I don't think he ever confirmed it, but it's on many different websites. So you can see that, the phenomenal impact people can have if they have this specific, let's say, syndrome, let's just say, because I don't want to call it like a problem. It could actually, instead of being a problem, it could be the biggest gift. If it's discovered at the age of 4 or 5 years old, these kids, you could be having a gem over there that could become great inside Torah, and you never know what they could do. They could become a Bal Korah or whatever it could be. They could learn a lot of the Torah off by heart. They could learn a lot of the Gemara off by heart because they've got the brain potentially to do it. So one of the messages on this Autism International Day, which is going to be tomorrow, is that not to look at it as if the child it's going to be a load of problems in life, which some people might look at it because it's going to be a lot of hard work. That is for sure. But it could become a great challenge, and it could also potentially become a great gift, the time you spend with those kids. And you could be ending up with a child at the end, an adult in later years, that could become the top of the top at the end in later stages. So because there is going to be a lot of barriers if people see that their child has this specific issue. But at the same time, the more one invests in it, they could actually become the greatest out of everyone. So there's a lot of telltale signs where people can discover this specific thing. However, it could also be that one might discover this when the child is a teenager, or even after bar mitzvah or whatever it might be. It could be like 16, 17, 18 years old, but it's never too late. I think there's a TV presenter in England. There was a woman that used to present TV shows. She discovered her son who had Aspergers syndrome, and then she discovered herself that she had it. So it's, I think she was at the age of 40, 50 years old. So it's never too late with regards to this specific thing, and people should, if they suspect they might have this specific issue, that it's good to get diagnosed, but it's critical if one sees there's a child that's developing different socially, especially at a young age, then to catch it then, and then nurture the child within regards to it, and invest a lot of time in that child, not just within regards to just themselves within regards to it, but get them the lot of therapies they need. Get them a lot of, keep them busy, keep their brain busy. One doesn't want their brain to be just like isolated and they don't do much. You need to keep them active the whole time and challenge them the whole time. Give them tasks to do throughout the day. In the evening, tell them stories. Make sure if they're watching something on the computer, then they should watch something educational. Say, for example, something that teaches situations. Say, for example, Fireman Sam, or one of those kind of programs, those are important to teach situations in life. If it's just going to be something that's going to make the brain like a jelly, then it's, better not to put them on the computer. But if to put them on the computer, teach them a lot of general knowledge things. That's one thing very important. All the different names of the animals, all the different names of the countries, the different flags, the amount of general knowledge you can stuff into these children, the better it is, because they will be able to retain it, possibly even better than a regular kid. So, so tomorrow is the International Autism Awareness Day. So I thought I would say a few words with regards to the Torah. And remember, a parent might say, why is this kid so into the numbers, so into this, so into that? Why is that such a problem? It's not a problem. Hashem made them that way, and that's what they find enjoyable. A lot of these kids do. They find relating to mathematics or to numbers or statistics, that's their form of enjoyment. And why not? We live in a day and age where there's so many people with unfortunately so many terrible forms of enjoyment. There's so many adults with the best brains in the world. So this is something that those kids enjoy. So why not channel it with regards to Judaism and Torah and develop all their best interests into that specific field, and you could end up with a gem of a child when it comes to the Torah. So hopefully I'll do another part of this, and hopefully at a later stage. Guys, have a Shavua Tov, and have a great day.